Good morning. You are welcome to the Nogg Talk Show. Today is 30th of June 2019. We are here at the Protea Hotel, The Wanderers, Johannesburg. And with me here today is His Excellency OTUNBA BAMIDELE AKINGBOYE. You are welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
And with me as my own person and then support to the show is our ambassador for Nogg, South Africa, Jeffrey Obas. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Jay.
Yeah, before we continue, I think our viewers would be very interested to know a brief about you. But before I will ask you to introduce yourself officially, I want to give a summary of what we assume and what we know you are. In a summary, we believe that you are a very successful businessman and a philanthropist. And we believe that with a philanthropical spirit, you have affected the life of so many, and you have helped a lot of people around you develop themselves. So, sir, tell our viewers about yourself so that they can know the capacity you carry as an individual and as an aspirant looking to lead the people of Ondo State into the new era of Nigeria.
Good morning once more.
Good morning.
Moderator. My name is OTUNBA BAMIDELE AKINGBOYE. I'm from Nigeria, Ondo State. I was born so many years ago, very close to 60 now. And as an entrepreneur that has been working for so many years all over the globe, I am into oil and gas, I'm into dredging, I'm into property. And I believe God has been so great to me in this aspect. This is why I, Benson BAMIDELE AKINGBOYE, or popularly known as Obas, is coming out to come and serve my people. Because the only way I believe I can give back to my people is for me to come and use my wealth of experience to come and move Ondo State forward. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, sir. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. He's such a great man, like we summarize. He's a philanthropist, and he's a very successful businessman, and we have so much confidence in him. That is why our organization, the Nigeria Organization for Good Governance, has taken the position to say he is the man for the job, and we know that he can deliver all the expectations and help us fulfill our objectives and goals as an organization that stands for good governance. My name is Jay Eseyoma once more again. I'm your presenter for this show today. I'm the founder as well of the organization, Nigeria Organization for Good Governance. I will leave the floor for our ambassador for South Africa to ask the first question, which will help the viewers to understand, because we're trying to get to explore who this person that is looking to lead us really is. So we will ask these questions to help us get inside of you to know who you are and your inner ambition and strength. So I'll leave the floor for my co-host here, Jeffrey Obas.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. J. Eseyoma. Once again, I'm Jeffrey Obas Esquire. I'm the ambassador, the South Africa ambassador to Nogg.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. OTUNBA, for having this time with us. You know, it's not easy traveling all the way to South Africa for this interview. Of a true, the Nigeria Organization of Good Governance for Good Governance is honored being with you today. I just want to ask, sir, you know, as an aspirant, a governorship aspirant just now, it is of true that before you can decide to lead the state, as it were, you must have some sort of pedigree, antecedents, some qualities, some things you've done prior to just now, hitherto. that if I go to Ondo State, I can maybe at the immediate community, I can ask somebody, do you know Mr. OTUNBA? He has one or two things to tell me about you. So I just want to ask you, sir, can you just brief us a little how you have influenced or helped the people around you to develop them with your humanitarian, qualities? How have you helped the people around you and the community at large? Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. As I said earlier, I am an entrepreneur, and the only thing I think about is how to develop human being and how to do business in my environment. And this has affected me around the globe. You see, if I start telling you what I have done in my state or who and who I've assisted, it might take from today to tomorrow. But I will give you about 3 points. In the late 90s, I could remember vividly that as a young boy, a young woman, there is a community hall that was being built in my local government, in OTUNBA local government. That community hall has been there for so many years. Nobody talked about it. I could remember they put it to my notice and I give them what I think I can give to them to continue this community hall. By the grace of God today, some other people also put their hands in it, in assisting them to build this community hall, but it has been completed. I put my own quota to it. And again, we have a lot of school leavers that have gone to primary school, secondary school, and they want to attend university. I've received so many calls, and I do what I can do. I've sent so many of them to school as I speak. I see about 5 of them in university. I'm paying their school fees. But how many will I say? And I'm that kind of person that I don't like people to really know what I'm doing, because they say in the Bible, they say, what the right hand do, don't allow the left hand to do it, because I'm doing it for the glory of God. That is that. If you flash back in my local government again, including the Southern Central District, it has taken us about 8 years that we don't have power in that local government in the Central District. And one thing I did was that I have to go to Abuja in the National Assembly to sit down with the chairman of power, namely Asukwo, and the deputy, namely Gololo. These are people I know before they become a national workers, figures. And I mentioned to them, how can my local government, we've been having past governments, we still have existing government, they don't talk about it. We don't have light in that local government and the central district. So what he did was that, okay, what can we do? I said, please. Before me leaving my house today, I called my king that I am coming to solve this issue. The only thing you are going to do for me is that I will call my king. His name is the paramount ruler of Ukale land. His name is Abudi. And I called him, I put him on the line. And these people, they assisted me by talking to Abodi, and they said, Daddy, we are going to get this problem solved. And for God having the glory today, that light, they are working on it seriously. So this is part of the things I've been doing. And so many people, they want to travel abroad, they don't have the capability to do it. So I don't like announcing what I really do, because I'm doing it for the glory of God. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is a very elaboratory insight to what you have been doing. And still on the humanitarian subject, I would like to ask you in particular, is there any project you are running as we sit here now in regards to humanitarian outreach?
As you must know, we have Obas Foundation, OTUNBA BAMIDELE AKINGBOYE Foundation.
Okay.
This foundation is taking care of a lot of issues to help the masses, to help these people, the needy. We do what they want us to do. As I said, this foundation is sending people to school. This foundation is training students under my organization. This foundation is taking care of the widows. This foundation is giving medical care, you understand me? But the most important one is that there's a lot of people that doesn't even have what, they don't know what to eat by tomorrow morning or this morning. They call us, and immediately I hear about this, I will tell my organization, can you please assist them? Can you please give them something to take care of their family?
So you're running a food drive,
yes,
to say?
Yes, I'm running that.
That's very good. I'm very impressed, and I believe our viewers are also very impressed, because those are the qualities that make good governance, based on the standard we are looking for as an organization that promote good governance. And to further that same question, I would like to ask you, should you become the governor of Ondo State, do you have any project in mind? Because we as an organization that promote good governance, one of the strategy we want to deploy to be able to fulfill our objective is to partner with government, so that we can influence government with ideas and initiatives that we cater for the most needed interests of the common man. Because what we've understand with time is some of the factors that also affect the poor delivery of government is the lack of knowledge of what to do. You sit in the power, you got the resources, but you don't or may not know what to do with that resources. So lack of information can also disenfranchise the common members of society from benefiting from the government. So what we're saying is, we have a few initiatives that we believe that when you become the governor of Ondo State, we will be able to, or maybe I say, would you be willing to work in partnership with NGOs to be able to reach the common people in our society who are disenfranchised or probably disadvantaged?
So the first thing I'm going to do is for me to take those youths out of what we call neglect and poverty. I have a simple program I'm going to give to them. My program is that every 6 months in each of my local government, there are going to be some kind of incentive that the government will dish out to at least 10 in each local government. The project we are going to ask them to do will be something that is particularly needed in their local government.
That's right.
I will ask my commissioner or the chairman of the local government, it's a compulsory you must do, because I want you to empower all these youth. I calculated it some few days ago. It's going to cost me 2.7 billion naira every year to make at least 360 young school leavers to go through the process and become their own boss as an entrepreneur.
That's very interesting.
When I award this contract for 15 million naira to these my young gentlemen or ladies, we will tell them what to do with that local government. We're going to pay them 10 million naira, and we'll have a consultant that is going to make sure they do this job properly.
Yes.
And when they started this job, they should use at least 9 million naira to complete this job.
Okay.
The 1 million naira will be an expenses to run. Don't forget that this project was awarded for 15 million because we want to empower them. The day they finish this project, within 6 months, I will ask my commissioner and my local government chairman and my consultant to verify that this project has been done.
Yes.
They will go and commission this project. But lest I forget, within that 6 months of them working on this project in the local government, there will be a place in which they have to go and study Saturdays and Sundays for them to learn something about what they can invest their profit on, and in which they are going to be awarded a certificate of completion that they have learned this trade. So immediately they finish this project, we are going to cut the tape, we commission it, we allow the whole world to know that this is what we are doing. We will now pay them the balance of the 5 million naira as their profit.
Yes.
That project will assist the community. My brother, if we do that to anyone that has been looking for a job, that has been thinking how to take care of himself, and finally become a millionaire within 6 months, and the job he has done will be useful to that community. And again, we have asked him to learn a trade that is going to invest that 5 million
money into.
Understand me? I hope, my brother, the economic will move. And immediately the gentleman collected the 5 million, he's going to invest that money back to the trade and business.
Yes.
Definitely this young man or lady will employ at least 3 human
people
to work with him. In that 6 months, if you take 10 per local government, I have 18 local government in my state. That means I have enriched, I have empowered 180 young men and ladies.
Yes.
They are billionaires. And within the next month, they are going to employ again at least 333.
That is
My brother,
very strategic.
Within 1 year, I will have 360 young SME, you understand me? Millionaires that's working in that state.
Yes.
And if you look at it, I'm going to spend 4 years as a governor. You understand me? If you look at it, if you times 360 by 4, it's going to give you 1,444 young entrepreneur in my state. And I bet you 33333, maybe you want to employ a secretary, an accountant, attendants, it depends on what you are doing.
Yes.
You are employing 3. If you times that 3 by 1,400, we are talking about 7,800 people empowered within that 4 years. My brother,
that's a huge impact.
It's going to be something that's going to turn that state around.
That's a huge impact.
And they've been calling my state civil servant state ever since they created ONDO state. We are known to be a civil servant state. I'm going to bring this state back to a commercial state, a state that is going to be industrialized, that people will come and start making money, and our IGR will go up, and the economy of the state will be booming. You understand me? Yeah. And none of our boys will be able to get involved in any shady deal again, because there is work for them.
Yes.
Thank you, my brother.
That's a very fantastic. I believe the viewers are satisfied with your projection into the future. And if we have always had people like you in the seat of power, I believe, imagine all the last almost 20 something years we've been enjoying democracy. If we've had people like you in power who think outside the box and have the interests of the common man in mind, our president Buhari wouldn't have made a statement that our youth are lazy. What's your take on that statement?
I've traveled around the world, sir. God himself has blessed the youth of Nigeria.
Yes.
Very well so.
If the president says our youth are lazy, I strongly believe that that is overstatement. If you, as I speak now, if you go to any part of Lagos, understand me,
yes,
you will find our youth that the federal government cannot provide jobs for. Most of them are graduates.
Determined.
Selling tissues on the street of the road, running 150 kilometers per day.
Yes.
Selling
pure waters,
selling biscuits,
beverages and all that.
Selling beverages on the street.
Under the hot sun.
They are not 10, they are not 20, they are not 50. Hundreds of them trying to make ends meet
with good
certificate. And there is no capital city in Nigeria that you will not find the same situation.
Yes.
Anytime I see this kind of situation, my heart will be bleeding. In a country in which we are the fourth largest oil producing in the whole world, understand me? But it doesn't deem it fit to our leaders to know that the only way you can assist this country is for you to empower the youth. My brother, I'm not joking about this. By the time I come into government, I believe the whole world will stand up for me to come and honor God that this thing this governor will do in this state. If this is how all the governors or the president that we have had in this country have been doing, things can have had a lot of changes.
That's right.
So, brother, that one to me, as I said earlier on, it is an overstatement. Our youth, they are the future of tomorrow. We are going to teach them how to fish. As I'm sitting down here, I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. I will tell you, my brother, basically I know most of the people in the government for so many years. Most of the presidents in Nigeria are my personal friend. I have never go to them and say I need a contract.
Yes.
I don't do it. I don't touch it. I've been playing in the private sector, from local government to the federal. I don't touch any of their contracts, and God has really blessed me. Understand me? So I will bring this experience back into the community. Understand me? To make sure we teach them how to fish. Understand me?
Very interesting.
And before we stop, sir, I want to give you a little brief of Ondo State.
Okay.
Ondo State as a state is the richest state in Africa.
Okay.
This is a state that the three senatorial districts, you understand me, God gave us what it takes, you understand me, for us to move that state forward. But since 1976, that state has been formed. Only Per Justin that came in there and does what he can do. I don't think most of the governors they have thought of thinking out of the box and do something that will be great in that state.
Yes.
If you look at my Southern Senatorial District in Ondo State, we have bitumen, we have oil. Chevron is taking oil every day there.
Yeah.
Consolidated oil, which is Adenuga, they are taking oil there every day. You understand me? We can go for free shield. That is where we have the Oluwa glass that has been killed. That Oluwa glass, when it was there, the whole South Africa, the whole West Africa comes in there to buy their glass.
That's true.
We have 147 kilometers of shoreline, virgin, non-touched. We have not touched it. You understand me? They don't even think that tourism is what we should put our hands into, because the terrain we have in the Southern Central District is like the terrain of Philippines.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yes.
Where millions of people go there every year for them to go and have their fun. We can do the same thing, tourist center.
And I also think that is one of the factors that doesn't promote tourism in Nigeria as a whole and a state is that government doesn't invest in this thing to create an image. Yes.
Yeah, they don't invest in it. And you see, if we can have that in the Southern Senatorial District, as I speak now, there is a refinery license that has been given to Odiaye community. You understand me? For the past 15 years, 1,000 hectares, about 100 to 300,000 barrels per day. That is the capacity.
And nobody wants to invest in it. Nobody wants to invest in it.
I have that document on my table today. I'm talking to some of my Indian partners. They are coming with 3 billion naira and investors to come and invest into that Odiaye refinery. That will open up the whole Southern Senatorial District. If you move from there, you now go to the side, to the central. That is where we have the cocoa. Everybody knows that cocoa comes from Ondo State. Yes, understand me?
Yeah.
They never think of setting a very good factory in Ondo State for us to start producing cocoa.
Yes.
To export this cocoa to Belgium. You understand me? Where the country that doesn't even know where they plant the cocoa, they are the best.
Just as what happened to the crude oil.
You understand me? We have timbers, we have forestry, we have rubber plantation, we have palm oil. Before I forget, you know that in 1976, the Malaysian came to my local government in OTUNBA to come and take our palm tree seed. You understand me? To start studying it. Go to Malaysia today, they are the most important country in producing palm oil. They make over $17 billion every year to sell palm oil. And my state, OTUNBA, if you go there, we cannot produce $1.
We still have our young men running on the street with no job.
They don't have something to do.
Yes.
So what are our leaders doing? What are they doing? Can't they sit down and think how they can move a state forward? If you leave the central again, you go back to the north. We are sitting on the largest deposit of limestone in Africa.
That's right.
You understand me? That can be used for cement factory. You understand me? So,
and nobody
you see,
invest in this thing.
I'm so happy that I'm coming to take up this mantle.
We're happy to have
because I keep on telling people I don't need to think of new ideas. There is 1,001 idea in that state that they are supposed to put the round peg in the round hole, but they put the wrong peg in it. Benson, BAMIDELE, AKINGBOYE, popularly known as Obas in Ondo State, is coming to serve the nation. I'm coming to serve my people, and I'm coming to turn around the life of my people.
You're speaking it from the passion you have inside of you. To go forward, I'm aware of your smart city ideology, that you want to create a smart city in Ondo State, which is a very great idea.
But before we get to that,
yes,
Jay, because there's this interesting question I want to ask.
Okay.
Ordinarily, I shouldn't ask you about it because from my juxtaposition, from what you said from the first question about you called your king's name and all that, I shouldn't ask. But for the purpose of the populace and for this interview, I think I just have to ask it because it plays every day in Nigeria.
Yes.
You see, we have heard of such disconnect between the government house and the palace in many states.
Yes.
For example, during the military regime of Yeregulem in Edo State, he had issues with the Oba Palace and all that. He took himself to court and all that. So the question I'm asking is this: these issues always comes up most times because of financial remuneration to the palace, or
personal interests
and or usurpation of authority. So I just want to ask, how is the relationship between you and the palace or the traditional rulers of Ondo State, and how do you plan to
Work
strengthen the palace when you become the governor?
Yes.
Just throw a little light on that for us.
In the beginning, God created this world, you understand me? And when we wake up in the morning, we say, thank you, Lord. You understand me? Because it is the only Lord we know. The other entity or the other person we also give glory to them are the king of each domain. You understand me? But I've seen that, especially in the southern part of our country, you understand me? We don't give honors to our king.
We demonize
Yes,
them.
we demonize
Very much so.
And if you look at it, go back to the north. They worship their kings, they worship their emirs.
Yeah.
Why can't we practice the same thing in the southwest? Because before we even elect the governor, you understand me? It is the king that is taking care of all the communities. You understand me? If you elect a governor in a local government, in a state, the governor will be there for at least 8 years, he will leave. But the king still remains.
Live on.
They are the custodian of each of the local government, the ward, and even the community.
And we cannot affect the life of the disadvantaged without a relationship with this crown.
Understand me? So I keep on asking myself, as I said, why are we not honoring our own king in Southwest? You look at the North today, they honor their king like their gods.
Exactly.
Understand me?
And they extend such honor. They want to make every other ethnicity in the country honor their kings
their own
like
king
that.
like
Not
that.
just
They are
them.
protected.
One thing I'm going to do, and I've mentioned this to two or three of my Obas, including my own Oba,
Yes.
Jerry of Ilewe, Mutuba, that we are going to honor you all as the king of this state.
Yes.
Understand me? We are going to honor you because you are the only people that can call the community at any given time. That my brothers, my sister, my
Address
sons,
matters
address
at the
them and they will
grassroots.
listen to you.
Yes.
So why can't we give you the comfort as Oba? My own administration will not suffer them. We take care of them. We make sure they have sense of belonging. It is a promise I'm making to my people, because one part of the nation cannot be enjoying something, and the other part will not do it. Me, I will plead to our citizens that we should try to take our king as our Lord after God. You understand me? Because it is not easy for God to ordain one person,
Yes.
a king, unto a community. God honor that person. We should also honor them.
That's right.
Understand me? And that is the way it's going to be in Ondo State. And I believe from what I will be doing, when I get in there, a lot of people will come and copy. They will come and learn. Because I want to start a new life, a new government, a new city, a new everything in that country.
Very well.
Understand me?
Very well.
And I keep on telling you, by the time I finish what I'm doing, the whole world will honor God and give me the honor that,
Yes.
man, you are the kind of person we are looking for.
That's right.
Understand me? Because it doesn't take rocket science. But if you don't love God, if you don't love yourself, you won't be able to love your people. That is what I'm seeing from those that are governing us.
Thank you very much, sir. Just to throw a bit light on that topic, I feel sadness in my heart now that you mentioned this question, because our traditional rulers have been suffocated out of their palace. They are suffocated from different ways. We live in 21st century. We don't live in the age where you go to farm and plant your little cassava, yam or rice and feed yourself and you're fine. We're living in the 21st century where the desire of mankind has grown. And when these traditional leaders are not given access to the enjoyment of the life we live in today, they lose their confidence as a king. And that is what is happening. The monarchy in London, they are worshipped. They are recognized even by the President of America.
So much so.
The whole world know about it. But in our cases, we suffocate our traditional leaders to the point that if you bring them to the public domain, it will be too shallow.
Yeah, because they see it as an archaic,
yes,
primitive
yes,
sector,
which is a twisted way of looking at things.
And
yes.
meanwhile, that's where all the blessings comes from.
That's right.
Because when there's peace in the palace,
yes, there's peace in the
state.
community.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are happy you
have a plan for them.
Yes,
Thank you very much, sir. I think the viewers have seen it from you. They've heard it from you. You are the new generation leader.
Yeah.
You have the determination to take Nigeria and Ondo State, most especially, to the new era of leadership.
Yeah.
So that we can enjoy the things that other countries and other people living in other communities in the world are enjoying.
Yeah.
So we are very happy to hear that. Now, there's one major thing that I think we mustn't ignore.
Yeah.
From the background of our people and the culture we carry, we have respect for so many things that we have been programmed to be afraid of change. Now I'm talking about your smart city ideology. I believe that there might be some resentment because of the slowness we have in as embracing change.
Yes.
If you look at the culture and the way we do things in Nigeria over the last 50 years, not much have really shifted when you look deeper in terms of the idea people carry, the way we do things, even looking at it from a religious perspective, we've not really evolved a lot. So what I'm trying to say is, your smart city idea might face some challenges because the communities might not be happy to welcome the change. And then, on the other hand, there's going to be some implication to their daily life, which means, for example, if I was living in my little room, all I needed every day is just to try and find maybe 100 naira or 200 or 500 at most to buy my little groceries and I'm happy. Now you throw me into a smart city, an idea that I've never dreamt of it. I didn't ask for it. Automatically, my grandfather's house is going to be taken over, most likely. If not taken over, probably suffocated and made isolated. For example, if you build a 3 skyscrapers near to my rundown building, of course I will be most likely perceived to be unwanted in the area. So how do you intend to balance these changes and the perception of the community to your ideas, in order to be sure you're going to accommodate everybody?
Thank you very much, Major. In the society we live today, we see that in Nigeria as a country, we are well knit.
Yes.
Most of our children goes to school.
That's right.
They know what is right from what is wrong. And there is no human being in life who sees better life. And he says, I don't want better life, I want the life that is not better. What the question you have asked me is like this is from orientation. Understand me?
Yes.
That we are going to give to our people. We are going to all go there and tell them what it takes before we will start at all. That the smart city we want to bring to your community.
Yes.
We empower you.
Okay.
We empower the community. We empower the state. And anything or any investment they put in that local government in that area belongs to you guys. Understand me? Because at the end of the day, if a smart city is built in a local government or in an area, nobody can come and take this city away.
Yes.
It belongs to the people that stay in there. So we make sure we talk to them.
Just let me chip in something there, because it's good for us to practicalize this thing. I used to live in London, and in 2007-8, after the recession, people start to pick up things again. The property market start to boom again, and the rental price of houses in London shoot up. A lot of people couldn't afford it, and we decided to move away from the heart of the city in order to accommodate our income against our outgoing. Because the reason I'm saying this is there's no way you can avoid the cost of living being incremented in a smart city if we are already used to certain, way of life. Does it make sense to you?
Makes sense.
Yes, I was forced to move to the nearby city to London, where I take transport to London because I cannot afford the rental in central London. Do you understand now?
Exactly.
This factor will definitely come to play. We cannot ignore it. So what I'm saying is, how do we intend to make sure that the people who have been in these places are not suffocated by the hike in living cost?
That is what I was trying to explain to you.
Yes.
It is all about orientation.
Okay.
We are going to send our people there to talk to them.
Yes.
And you must know that most of this land belongs to the community.
That's
So
right.
my government will be ready to compensate them.
Okay.
And to make sure they have comfort
Yes.
within the community.
Okay.
So building a smart city is going to improve the economy. It's going to bring new things to that community, in which I know they will embrace.
Yes.
Understand me? And as I speak, my people are talking to them.
Exactly.
Because I know what we are looking for is going to happen 2020.
Yes.
I will become the governor of Ondo State.
It will
That's
happen.
a sure,
We
sure
have
thing.
Ordained it. Understand me? So I sincerely believe that God will touch their hearts. They will all listen to us and they will work with us.
Okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
Eh? And I'm going to put something to them again. If you go to Dubai today, if you are coming to do business in Dubai, you need to talk to the local to be part of it.
Of course.
Very much
Is there
so.
anything wrong with
Empowering
doing that?
strategy.
We are
Yes.
going to ask our investors and people that are coming to make sure that local content will be highly involved in anything they are doing there. So it is the people in this community that will also work with the investors that are coming.
Okay,
So-
if I phrase you correctly, in other words, you're saying the local guys shouldn't worry about the living cost
At all.
because they will become rich and they can afford it.
You are
That
very
is
right.
the word.
They will.
By investors coming
Very
to the state to
good.
invest.
It sounds
not
very
one
good.
politician
Yes.
hijacking
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
As
Yes.
it has always been. Okay, subject to you going forward with the
Yes,
question, now,
yes.
I just want to bring this in
Yes.
again. You know, most of the questions I have in mind to ask you, one way or the other, you've already threw some lights
On them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will still bring it forth right now. I will bring to the fore just now on this call. We're talking about development, you're talking about smart city and all
Yes.
that.
Yes.
There is not going to be any smart city without energy, light,
Yes.
as it were. And it is the position where there is light, where there is energy, there is prosperity, and there is life.
Yes.
So now, do you see yourself, so to speak, as the Messiah? When you become governor, do you see yourself as the Messiah that's going to bring uninterrupted?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a vision. We are seeing it as a vision, but we are not afraid to use words. Do you see yourself as that means that will bring an uninterrupted source of energy
To that state.
to Ondo State? That would, we have seen several times before now where politicians they come, they bamboozle the unsuspecting public.
Yes.
The what do you call it now? The manifesto. They bamboozle the unsuspecting public with promises that are earmarked, but will never be earmarked, or through their 8 years
Yes.
of ruling
Yes.
or leadership. So my question is this now. Say, we want you to give us, just a little insight on practical
Approach.
framework,
Yes.
practical roadmap, and a blueprint, verbal blueprint, kind of, on how you intend to achieve undisrupted or, let's say, stable energy supply in all the states.
Thank you very much. The government has privatized power in the country. And I believe each region in Nigeria has a power company that is servicing each of the region. But my idea is this: to light up Ondo State. The regulation, the rule says if you have more than 1 megawatt, of power, we should connect to the national grid. Understand me? As I said, this thing is not rocket science. There is no community you put 20, 30 megawatts of light. An industry will be able to stand in that community.
That's
24
right.
hours.
That's right.
And don't forget, we have gas in my state. We are facing Atlantic, we can go by wind.
The source of energy as well, gas.
We can use solar in my state.
Yeah.
So my idea is this. If the government says don't do more than 1 megawatt, you understand me?
Yeah.
For you to sustain power in your local government, there are a lot of investors that I've been talking to, and I will still talk to, that are ready to come with their resources and their technology with 1 megawatts of power that will not go to the national grid. There is no place we have, for example, an industrial layout.
Yes.
And we ask 30 different companies to bring their 1 megawatt together. They are different entities.
Yes.
If Mr. A brought his own, he's only servicing my community 1 megawatt.
That's
Mr.
right.
B bring his own, he's servicing my state with my community with 1 megawatt. So if we put that combination of 30 megawatt in a local government or in an industrial layout, that 30 megawatt will serve them 24 hours non-stop all night. By then, we don't need to connect to the federal government. You understand me? So that is my idea. And I believe that is what I'm going to replicate in each of the local government and each of the senatorial districts of Ondo State. I want to industrialize that state. You understand me? As I speak, I have a lot of companies I've been discussing that want to invest money into power. But for us to move on, you understand me? Without this stuff, that is what I've taught in my own brain.
Yes.
We will do 1 times 30
Yes.
with different companies.
Yes.
In one location, we go to that place again, we do 1 times 30. You understand me? And you see that light will be running. These things, they are not rocket science.
I'm so excited about your idea.
Just to add to what you just said, sir, you mentioned gas. You know, just 2 weeks ago, I took holiday in one of these resorts abroad, and I discovered the hut I was lodged in that resort as a whole, everything is powered by gas. The fridges, everything.
There are many ways to generate
You get it?
electricity.
There's nothing like electricity in that place, as in
Supply from
you
the
know,
national.
as it were.
Yes.
So I think on those states you as well look into gas as a source of energy.
That is
Which
what
you mentioned
yes,
already.
that is must move forward.
Yes.
We have what it takes in that state.
Yeah, the nightlife
Understand
must
me?
come out.
43 billion barrels of oil is now discovered inside my bitumen.
Imagine.
Wow.
That is a lot. Yes.
Why can't we put this into action? As I speak, I have Chinese government that has a partnership that has signed with my company venture to come and invest in the 8 permit and licenses we have to operate in that state. Ondo State has 8 blocks licensed by the federal government. Understand me? We are so blessed in that state. Unless I forget, do you know that the marijuana that they are using, they are extracting the oil
to
do medical testing that has abundance of marijuana?
Can you imagine?
And this is an investment of more than $180 billion every year. The world is making money from it. He has been working seriously to make sure government license. And I know he's going to do it to where he can do it. I, Benson Bamidele, will come back and make sure I'll take it over. And I'm going to set up a factory. We will even export the raw material. We are going to set up the factory in our
complete the
that cycle
is where my
comes from,
production.
for them to start the production there. Nigeria is going to be great, but we need great mind. Ondo State is going to be great. A better Nigeria is coming.
I believe
OTUNBA
we need
BAMIDELE
people
AKINGBOYE.
like you. Yes.
OTUNBA BAMIDELE AKINGBOYE Oba is the person that God has sent to come and lay the foundation of better Nigeria.
That's right.
Because nothing less. If I'm going to build my infrastructure, it will not be lesser than what I'm seeing in Joe.
And
That's
that is
right.
what I want to hear.
And this has been a very crippling effect why we have been stagnant in the last 58 years because nobody built on top of anything.
Thank you very much. I said I was going to ship in this one. This will be the first time. I will pass it to law in my state.
Yes.
All the projects the past government and they've laid their hands on that was not being completed.
Yes.
We are going to look into it.
Yes.
We will improve on it.
Yes.
We will complete them. And by the time I serve my 4 years, if they want me to continue,
yes.
I will continue. All the projects I'm going to do, the one I don't complete, there will be a law passed
that holds
that
will hold it, that
all projects done uncompleted will be completed by the next governor.
Yes.
You understand? If you want to amend it, if you also adjust it, want to improve on it, you are allowed.
Or it must be finished.
Because I don't know what it is with the government. I've seen it in many states.
Yes, sir.
A government of, let's say, APC government starts a project.
Yes.
Or let's say a PDP government starts a project. PDP have been on power for all past states.
Yes.
Then APC government comes in a very good project that will help the people, because if
they
started with the other
sabotage
government, they leave it there, start a fresh
they
one.
sabotage it.
My brother, in just one word, I will tell you, it's lack of knowledge.
Yes, ignorance.
Lack of knowledge. If they know what it is, they will continue and they will finish it up.
Exactly. And the praise will go to you that finished it. But why happened?
So it's lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge.
Crowned by greed, I would say, because everybody, I think they have this idea that you can't make money from the chair I started building until you start your own. It's just it's a very poor way of doing things. Thank you very much, sir, for that answer. I'm very impressed, and I believe our viewers are impressed to know that you have the ambition to institutionalize a constitution that will hold following government to complete whatever project has been started in the state, so that we can have a country that move forward.
There should be continuity in government.
Yes, not stagnant. Yes. So now, going forward, having said all these things, there's no way we can ignore the biggest problem we have in that country. We've had state governance or government in Lagos State, I don't want to mention them, that acclaimed that road accident cannot be blamed on government and poor road infrastructures, which is a ridiculous view from my interpretation, because it is ludicrous for you to even imagine that your children are hungry and you don't think that you are responsible to make sure they have food to eat. You understand? So in Ondo State, which I know this problem run across the whole of Nigeria, road, we don't have road. And I will say it again, we cannot separate road accident from poor road infrastructure. You have seen road here in South Africa, so I don't even need to tell you. So what would your government do to help us reduce road accident in Nigeria and ensure that if I buy my good car, I will enjoy it on good road? Do you know how much average Nigerians are spending every year in maintaining their cars?
Thank you, my presenter again. As I said earlier on, if you want to do it, you do it right.
Yes.
I will not add sentiment to business.
Yes.
We are going to get it right in Ondo State.
Yes.
Our infrastructure will be world-class infrastructure. You understand me? If you have world-class infrastructure built in a community, the tendency of having accidents will be minimized.
Yes.
You understand me? And any government that is thinking right should know that if an accident happens in any part of your community, it is the duty of the government to set up appropriate departments to handle this. You understand me? For example, I've been driving around Johannesburg for some time. Immediately an accident happened, before you open your eyes, you see the ambulance, you see the fire brigade,
less than 20 minutes.
You see everybody, police, everybody across. That is the kind of thing you will see in those days. I can't change it. I know what it takes, my dear. We cannot go less.
I believe we have yearned for so long for people like
you see what you're saying, sir. It keeps on, I keep on wondering, most of our governors and political leaders, most of them have lived abroad before,
Yes.
and most of them travel. Now, you keep on imagining, why can't they just take 1% of what they've seen outside and implement it in their states? You see, you're talking about what you say now, you say you're going to do it. And we know, God help you, you're going to do it. And I pray when you do it, all the governors and ministers and political leaders will take course and do say, this is what we want in Nigeria, and this is what we want. We pray that you win this election and become our governor. And on that note, I just want to chip this in. Say, you know, it is audible to the deaf right now in Nigeria and visible to the blind that our political leaders, if they have malaria fever, anything, they fly abroad for medical assistance. Now, I want to put this in context. What plans do you have for the pupils of your state or Ondo state when you become governor to build good medical facilities? That's the first one. Medical facilities, and secondly, quote unquote, give free medical care to the old and children in the state. Just briefly as it were, we just want to know if you have plans for such.
Thank you very much. This question you asked me has been bothering my heart. And this is part of what I'm going to give a lot of emphasis to. As I speak today, sir, it is in the public domain. Check it. Nigerians spend over $5-6 billion every year
for medical
Nigerian for medical checkup, medical treatment. It is part of what we are looking at critically. 3 days ago, I sat down here with the South African Association of Medical Team, Nigerians.
Yeah, Nigerian doctors.
I was marveled to see these men of OTUNBA and Kaliwa. You understand me? By the time we finished discussing here, I told them, I will take all the advantages that people have seen and they don't take advantage of it. The government is going to partner with them. My state will partner with them for them to build a first-class hospital in Ondo State. So that part of those money they are taking out every year, if it is 10-20% of it, they bring back to my state. I'll be talking of making at least $2.something billion of revenue in my state every year. And again, the same thing happened to education. You understand me? We spend a lot of money out of my country every year to take your children.
That's right.
It's not $5, it's not $6 billion. We will look into education again. It is the duty of the governor of the state to provide free education. In my past interview, I've mentioned it. If a country like Liberia, George Weah got it there within 6 months and he declared free education from primary to university.
Imagine.
I've said it. I am not putting it back in my mouth. I will do it. I will declare free education in Ondo State. You understand me? And it will be affordable for all the fathers, the mothers. So we are looking at it to make sure we build good hospitals, good schools. Let those that want good life come to Ondo State. I invest their money in Ondo State.
Sir,
that is part of the commerce I'm thinking about.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Before I forget, my brother, we also import rice into Nigeria every year, not less than $5 billion. My terrain is the best terrain to plant rice. We are going to plant rice massively. I've brought the Chinese before. Into Nigeria, and they come to my state at OTUNBA. We are going to assist you in building university of rice. That is where they can teach my children, those that are interested, or even within Nigeria to come and learn in that community to grow rice in my terrain. When they come out of that, they will have their permit, their license to start growing rice.
And
we create that job. And the Chinese, they told me that in 4 years, Ondo State will be able to feed the whole of Nigerians in eating with rice. I will be able to export after 4 years. My brother, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
Yes. I will give birth soon.
Good birth in Ondo State.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes.